And then they'll talk about you for days. Because they're so mean on that show. Oh my gosh. And of course I love to watch it. What does that say about me? I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Philosophy of education.
I saw you at your house. Good, everything sounds like it's going.
Although I will say that I get overwhelmed
Friends, we would like to begin in just a minute, so if you would, please gather around the tent here. Please feel free to come on in and gather around. Well, I want to welcome all of you to a truly historic day in the life of Woodward Academy. Over 113 years, this institution has grown and developed in remarkable ways, but it's going to be developing in a way that Colonel Woodward could never have imagined 113 years ago, and I believe would be very proud of today. Today, we officially break ground on Campaign Woodward's third and final building project, a new upper school humanities building to be named for Jane Woodruff. We are honored to have here today Jane, her son Buck, and her friend and advisor, Charlie DeVetter. Jane has been a friend and supporter of Woodward for many years. Her granddaughter and Buck's daughter, Carolina, graduated in 2008, and her grandson, John, graduated in 2012. I think it is safe to say that an unselfish, philanthropic nature runs in the Woodruff family. By virtue of a gift that Jane made to Campaign Woodward in 2007, a wing of Moss Math and Science Hall has Jane's name on it. Now, thanks to two additional gifts that Jane has made to Campaign Woodward, we begin earnest today on the construction of our signature building on campus, which will house the English, History, and Foreign Language departments, a building to be known as Jane Woodruff Hall. I would like to invite a few people who have been especially involved in helping to deconstruct the facility that was here and construct the facility that is soon to come. Our representatives with BDR Partners, Anna Forgy and Hector Morales, if you all will please wave so we can know who you are. Monty Bonds, the Senior Superintendent from J.E. Dunn. Monty, if you'll raise your hand, please. And Joe Jamgochian from Perkins and Will Architects. We thank you all for your role. Jane, we are deeply grateful to you for your support and for your investment in Woodward Academy. We look forward in a few moments to some special words from you. But before that, I would like to invite the campaign co-chairs for Campaign Woodward, Ben Johnson and Vicki Palmer, to come forward and offer a few remarks. Ben is a graduate of Georgia Military Academy from 1961 and is chairman of our Board of Trustees. Vicki Palmer is a member of our governing board and the parent of a Woodward alumna. They will speak in that order, and after Vicki finishes her remarks, Jane, we will invite you to come forward and speak. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Gulley, and let me also express my deepest thanks to Jane and the Woodruff family. The Woodruff family connection at Georgia Military Academy and Woodward Academy goes back well over 100 years. When Jane's uncle, Robert W. Woodruff, was a student here and then graduated in 1908. And Robert Woodruff, whose statue backs up to us, proudly stated throughout his life that Georgia Military Academy was the only school he graduated from. He and his brother George made countless contributions to Emory University and so many other important institutions in this city and in this state. When I enrolled at GMA in 1956, Buck, that was a long time ago, I was a member of the Robert W. Woodruff Marching Band, and it was legendary at the time that Mr. Woodruff, even as a student and as a recent graduate, had raised the money for the instruments that were used in the Robert W. Woodruff Marching Band. And he viewed it as his band. And indeed, when his great friend, President Eisenhower, was elected President of the United States, he insisted that his band be there. And so I got to march in the second Eisenhower inaugural parade in the Robert W. Woodruff Marching Band, and I also got to march in the John F. Kennedy inaugural event in the Robert W. Woodruff Marching Band. And I recall fondly back in 2008, Jane, one afternoon when we walked through the building that we can now see over here, which you made possible at that point in time. And I think it is a fair statement to say that throughout the entire life of this school, it's been supported at every step of the way by Woodruff generosity, leading up to the magnificent gift that we're celebrating here today. And so our sense of gratitude to you and your family and your uncle is truly profound. And although we're going to hear a few words from Jane, I would like to quote very briefly a sentence or two that she gave us for a recent edition of the Woodward magazine. She said, "Gratefully I feel a part of Woodward Academy and the attachment that began many years ago with my uncle Robert Winship Woodruff. He was a genuine and generous man, admired and loved extensively." And Jane, the same is absolutely true of you, and we thank you so very, very much today. You are a wonderful part of the Woodward community, and your family is, and we treasure that relationship. So now let me turn things over to Vicki Palmer.
Lowered this a little bit to short people's height, Jane. Get ready for us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to add my thanks to you, Ms. Woodruff, for all you've done for our great school. Jane Woodruff Hall promises to be inspiring in every way, from the exterior, which will honor our tradition and heritage, to the interior, which will provide state-of-the-art learning spaces. And I'd like to share with you now some of the benefits of this remarkable this remarkable building will bring to our students and teachers. All classrooms and common spaces will include the latest technology, dedicated computer labs, language labs, and collaborative spaces with Wi-Fi and wired internet access throughout the building. The 144-seat Lloyd Jones Lecture Hall, our largest on campus, will provide space for combining classes, guest lectures, and group meetings. There will be mobile and flexible classroom furniture throughout the building to promote collaboration and student-centered learning. The building will have a full-service infirmary, an elevator, and ADA upgrades. It is our goal that this building will be Gold LEED certified. This includes HVAC that promotes healthy air quality and increased natural light for improved student learning. The lockers students will be larger, and I'm told that they will be located in enclosed hallways, will have a working elevator, and functioning heating and air conditioning. Imagine that, and it really would take some students really from my daughter's era to really fully appreciate these new attributes. Lastly, having spent 30 years in the Coca-Cola system, I simply must say, Jane, how much your uncle meant to all of us at Coca-Cola. And I actually had the pleasure of meeting him on one of the few occasions when he came to the office many, many years ago. Of course, I was only about 10. So at this time, please help me welcome to the podium philanthropist extraordinaire, Miss Jane Woodruff.
I'm not extraordinary. I'm delighted to be here today and meet all of you because you're the ones that make Woodward tick. This school means a great deal to me. The scope of the education here is tremendous. It delivers well-rounded young people along with the academic knowledge, experiences with students from American pals to boys and girls speaking different languages and have different ways of life. Students here mature and are prepared to meet the next phase in their lives toward independence. Independence is a big word and covers only the very beginning of students in adult life. However, Woodward thrives by giving each one as much courage and abilities as possible in the short years they are here. These teachings have a marvelous impact. As shown by the outstanding graduates it produces. My commitment is steadfast. My uncle, Robert Woodruff, was a deeply meaningful and loving man. He was a star in my life. I loved him and admired him through and through. It gives me the greatest honor to add to his legacy at Woodward and complements this school with the needed new construction of the hall we are breaking ground for this 14th day of August 2013. Thank you, and thank you for coming.
Well, Jane, we talk a lot at Woodward about our motto of excellence, character, and opportunity. And you have demonstrated that in your life and in your support of this institution and in those very eloquent remarks. Thank you very much for making today possible and for your presence today. So now, the only thing left to do to get the building up so we can dedicate it this time next year is to break ground. So Jane, we need you to come over here, stand in the center behind the middle shovel. We would like your son Buck to join you and your friend Charlie. I'm going to ask Ben Johnson, our board chair, and Vicki Palmer, our co-chair of Campaign Woodward, to come forward. Bob Hawks, our vice president for advancement. Dr. Chris Freer, our vice president and dean for student life and principal of the high school. Mrs. Marcia Pruitt-Spiller, our vice president and dean for academic affairs. Anna Forgy with BDR Partners. Do we have enough shovels for everybody there? All right. And I think that it would be very remiss if we did not include in this group a student to join us up here. So the one who just threw her hand up, if you'll come forward here, we're going to invite you to join us in this as well. Class of 2017, Sammy Hazen. All right, so friends, lift your shovel. It has been music to my ears this summer to hear the construction vehicles and that beeping sound. So let's get them rolling again and get started so that we can enjoy the progress of the year to come and hopefully be in the facility this time next year. This concludes our festivities. Thank you very much for being here today.